now, my people is Kule, aka the Nigerian Englishman.
And your boy Kale be aka Mr. Gumbo.
And it's World Cup fever right now. Everyone is warming up for the opening ceremony and the big game, Qatar versus Ecuador. I mean, I don't know how many of you are excited about the game or more excited about the occasion. What do you say?
I think it's a big game for the Asian world. I don't know about the big game in football in terms, but it's going to be the first ever World Cup played in the Asian world. Sorry if I say Asian world, I think Islamic world, because already we have South Korea and Japan. But in the Islamic world, it's a big game. It's a moment in time that we should be proud to witness. It's history making right now.
100%. I'm just excited because there's so many stories to be potentially written in this World Cup. You've seen all the news been about Ronaldo in the past. He could come to this World Cup and silence everyone by being either the top scorer or winning the World Cup. That could happen. Messi could have the fairy tale ending, finally winning the World Cup. That could happen. Neymar, is it finally his time to cement his legacy? I mean, there's so many other stories that could be written as well.
Well, to be honest with you, this story it's about Brazil for me. Yes, I'm wearing a Brazilian jersey, but it's about Brazil for me. It's about some players who have their last moments in football to win the World Cup. People like the Messis, the Neymars, the Ronaldos,
the De
Bruynes. This is their last World Cup. That's what this World Cup is about. Your last chance. After that, it's over to the Mbappes of this world. Mm-hmm. And for me, the biggest pressure is on Messi. Argentina, 36 games unbeaten. They are going into the tournament. They have Saudi Arabia as their first game, opening game. That game should be 7-0. I don't see any other score.
What do you say is equally on Ronaldo since all the things that's happened in the coming weeks to the...
I think Ronaldo will be fine. Portugal will be fine. At the end of the day...
but there is some pressure on him, surely, to perform.
We're talking about one of the best players ever in football. I think dealing with pressure is is his business. That's his bread and butter, dealing with pressure. If it's any player that can handle pressure, it's Ronaldo. So, to be honest with you, Portugal, for me, I don't see them as tournament favourites. History-wise, they never really do well in these tournaments. Even when they hosted the Euros in Portugal, they lost to Greece in the final. So that tells you a lot about their international pedigree.
The real talk. But we're going to be going in a lot more detail about the teams we think and the players that we think are going to turn up to the occasion on Round on the Ground, our show tomorrow. But it's a different type of World Cup this time, can it be?
Yes.
It's happening in end of November, beginning of December. I mean, is there an outside chance that this is the time an African nation can get all the way to a final?
It's things we want to dream about, but I don't see it happening. Maybe they can get to the quarterfinals, but Senegal, to me, is the strongest African team. They don't have their best player. I don't see any African team winning the World Cup. I don't see it happening. Maybe they might go far. But the best African team is Senegal, and they don't have their best player right now. So that tells you the story.
But there's maybe a story to be told with Hakim Ziyech. Obviously, I know Chelsea fans will be hating on him right about now, and it's not going well at Chelsea, but he's back in the Moroccan side.
Well, he was always going to go back.
But with a point to prove as well. So you never know. With how the dynamics of the World Cup this year, it's going to be, there could be a shock somewhere. Obviously, it's a massive if. But you never know. At least get them to a final or a semi-final. I see an African team in minimum a semi-final.
It's going to be tough.
For sure.
It's going to be tough for an African team to get to the semi-final. Maybe the quarters, but the semis is going to be tough.
100%.
Well, you never know. Football is a crazy game. It's very unpredictable these days. And we had the Croatia who went to a final in the last World Cup.
England got to the semis.
Nobody saw that coming. And you never know. So
that's real talk. But the reason I'm wearing this top doesn't mean I'm supporting France. So this is my favorite World Cup experience was France '98. Zidane, JJ was there. R9 at his peak was there. That was an incredible World Cup. But I'm going to be following Ghana, Nigerians. Don't vex. There's a reason. Netherlands and Ghana and Netherlands. Those are my main teams that I'm following.
Well, for me, I'm supporting the Brazilian team, the Seleção. I think it's time for them to make history. And the other team I'm supporting is, I don't know. I don't know how to support any other African team but Nigeria, so I'm just going to sit back and watch. But Brazil all the way for me.
Look, we're not emotionally attached to this tournament because Nigeria know they're there. But with that being said, we can sit back and enjoy some great football.
Yeah, I can't wait for the tournament to start. Qatar, Ecuador, England play Iran, and America play Wales. I'm looking forward to America versus Wales. Gareth Bale, Pulisic. That's going to be a very crazy game. I'm expecting a lot of goals in that game, and for sure, it's going to be a great tournament. And of course, we're going to give you our daily and weekly feedback, videos, and you never know, we might have a competition going on.
Watch out, man. Catch us around the ground tomorrow. Enjoy the opening ceremony.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, now.
The first game of the World Cup is done and dusted. It finished 2-0 to Ecuador, beating the host Qatar. It was a great game from the start. The Ecuadorians were in control. England, Iran tomorrow. Senegal, Holland tomorrow. The US versus Wales tomorrow. 3 blockbuster games, and oh my God, I don't think I'm going to switch off my TV for this one. It's your boy Kanebi. You know what it is. It finished Ecuador 2, Qatar 0, and the World Cup is here, baby.